Welcome to a battlefield of minds. Two Grandmasters face off where every move cuts like a sword. One mistake, and it's over. This isn't just chess. It's war disguised as strategy. Let's dive in, move by move, into this epic clash. Le advances the pawn with d4, boldly staking central ground and announcing a determined strategic battle against Wesley's flexible defenses. Wesley replies nf6, developing smoothly while pressuring the center, preparing countermeasures against Lee's ambitions with composed tactical awareness. Le pushes c4, expanding his control on the queenside and tightening his grip on central terrain with confident, purposeful initiative. Wesley responds x, quietly reinforcing his structure while signaling readiness for dynamic counterplay and a solid, resilient defensive posture. Le develops nc3, adding force to his central hold and preparing coordinated pressure that may challenge Wesley's stability later. Wesley plays bb4, pinning the knight with intent, testing Lee's formation, and threatening structural discomfort in upcoming tactical exchanges. Le answers e3, reinforcing the center, unlocking his bishop, and preparing calmly for a slower build-up to challenge Wesley's positional plans. Wesley castles, ensuring king safety early, while preparing to redirect energy into central break possibilities and active piece coordination. Le develops bd3, eyeing Wesley's kingside and harmonizing his pieces to support tactical possibilities once the center begins to open. Wesley strikes with d5, challenging White's setup directly and provoking central tension that could unleash sharp middle-game complications soon. Le plays nf3, improving piece activity, guarding central squares, and preparing to castle into a flexible formation aimed at sustained pressure. Wesley advances, c5, attacking the pawn chain and signaling readiness to unbalance the position with well-timed structural disruptions. Le captures cxd5, clarifying the center and opening lines, attempting to guide the position into structures favorable to his active pieces. Wesley recaptures x5, maintaining central presence and creating a pawn duo ready to contest space with sturdy, practical resilience. Le captures dxc5, grabbing material while provoking Wesley to prove compensation through activity, piece pressure, and structural initiative. Wesley develops nbd7, preparing to recover the pawn efficiently while activating pieces toward key central and queenside squares with purpose. Le places bd2, reorganizing calmly, removing the pin, and preparing smooth development as he eyes potential coordination on central files. Wesley retakes nc5, restoring material while placing a knight on an active square, pressuring Lee's center with energetic intentions. Le retreats b2, regrouping the bishop into safety, while clearing lines for rooks and preparing to castle securely without concession. Wesley plays b5, sharpening pressure on the queenside and aiming to provoke weaknesses or create tactical threats on vulnerable diagonals. Le castles, finally securing the king and readying rook activity as central tensions promise sharp tactical transformations ahead. Wesley centralizes nc4, aggressively planting a knight deep, disrupting Lee's harmony and generating immediate challenges that demand precise handling. Le captures Decisive, choosing simplification to reduce Wesley's pressure while maintaining structural clarity and avoiding deeper tactical pitfalls. Wesley recaptures Decisive, pushing forward with a central pawn spear that creates threats and energizes his pieces for future assaults. Liu places End4, challenging the pawn and rerouting the knight toward influential squares, where it may destabilize Wesley's expanding structure. Wesley captures Bx-2, exchanging it actively to damage coordination and guide the position towards simplified but advantageous middle structures. Le recaptures Qx2x2, placing the queen on a central hub to reinforce control, reconnect rooks, and retain dynamic options on multiple fronts. Wesley plays Bg4, pinning assertively and provoking tactical worries, testing White's defenses as the middle game heats with fierce tension. Le pushes H3, forcing Wesley to clarify intentions on the king's side while creating slight weaknesses that may matter later. Wesley captures Bx2, removing a defender and subtly altering pawn structure, reshaping long-term plans with pragmatic tactical foresight. Le retakes Qx2, centralizing the queen and maintaining piece harmony while preparing to contest open lines against Wesley's activity. Wesley brings a receipt, activating the rook to pressure c-file targets, and preparing coordinated attacks with calculated methodical build-up. Le counters with Raccoon, doubling pressure along the c-file and signaling readiness to confront Wesley's growing aggressive posture. Wesley plays A6, preventing infiltration on B5, while creating space and reinforcing queenside structure against Lee's expanding piece activity. Le shifts RC2, repositioning flexibly to support central files and preparing for a potential swing maneuver depending on Wesley's responses. Wesley centralizes Qx7, connecting rooks while eyeing dangerous diagonals and preparing to escalate pressure in multiple sectors simultaneously. Le double, with RF cone, committing heavy artillery to the c-file and daring Wesley to resolve the brewing tension under fire. Wesley plays G6, strengthening his kingside and preparing to shut down potential threats while maintaining flexibility for future pawn breaks. Le advances RC4, swinging the rook aggressively along the fourth rank and probing weaknesses in Wesley's evolving defensive scheme. Wesley jumps Nd5, challenging the rook directly and contesting central squares with an assertive piece that disrupts Lee's coordination. Le plays Qg4, launching a kingside probe toward dark squares, pressuring weaknesses and hinting at aggressive tactical intentions. Wesley trades Qx4, simplifying the battlefield, reducing attacking chances, and steering the game toward a more controllable structural fight. Le recaptures Hx4, opening the H-file, and creating asymmetrical pawn structures that may hold hidden attacking resources later. Wesley captures Rxec4, sacrificing exchange balance temporarily to seize activity and generate dynamic counterchances through piece energy. Le retakes Rxcsc4, restoring material symmetry and maintaining rook presence in an open arena ripe for tactical evolution. Wesley moves Re8, centralizing his rook and preparing multi-directional threats as the position sharpens into an intense maneuvering battle. Le plays Cat Duo, stepping the king aside to reduce tactical vulnerabilities while preparing subtle improvements for his piece placement. Wesley lifts Re5, activating the rook aggressively on the fifth rank, threatening infiltration and placing heavy pressure on Li's structure. Le marches kj3, boldly advancing his king into the battlefield, seeking activity and supporting potential kingside pawn pushes. Wesley replies kj7, centralizing his king in preparation for an endgame showdown, while maintaining calm defensive resilience. Le plays nb3, repositioning the knight toward influential central squares, aiming to disrupt Wesley's plans and craft new tactical options. Wesley pushes b6, reinforcing c5 and securing queenside integrity, while preventing Li's knight from gaining impactful entry squares. Le routes in d2, searching for improved posts, and preparing to redeploy the knight with intentions to challenge Wesley's firm hold. Wesley develops nf6, returning the knight to stability, while supporting defensive duties and enabling future offensive possibilities. Le plays h6, infiltrating deep with the rook and creating immediate tactical pressure that forces Wesley to respond accurately. Wesley counters with rd5, challenging the intruding rook and attempting to neutralize White's pressure through active defensive play. Le repositions nb3, circling once more to find a more effective operational square that may disturb Wesley's balanced formation. Wesley plays rb5, attacking from the flank and threatening structural disruption while seeking counterplay through rook activity. Le advances kf4, fearlessly marching the king forward to support central operations and provoke complications near Wesley's defenses. Wesley strikes a5, gaining space and restricting Li's kingside intentions, while creating tension that may ignite decisive breakthroughs. Le drops back rc2, regrouping the rook to safer ground while maintaining readiness to re-enter action on newly opened files. Wesley pushes h4, advancing decisively to create structural threats and carve weaknesses around Li's increasingly exposed king position. Le jumps Decisive, placing the knight aggressively to target sensitive squares, igniting tactical threats that pressure Wesley's firm formation. Wesley captures rxfc5, eliminating the active knight and securing a material advantage that shifts momentum firmly into his favor. Le rey captures re xe5, restoring balance but exposing structural issues that Wesley may exploit as the endgame approaches decisively. Wesley captures bx5, creating a dangerous passed pawn and restructuring the queenside toward a winning endgame configuration. Le advances g5, attempting counterplay by opening lines near Wesley's king, while seeking complications to offset looming disadvantages. Wesley plays nh7, maneuvering the knight to a defensive post where it can blockade threats and reinforce his advancing pawn mass. Le pushes kg4, boldly stepping forward to support attacking chances, though the king's exposure risks severe counterblows from Wesley. Wesley strikes 5, forcing check and cracking open White's kingside, initiating a decisive sequence that magnifies Black's advantage. Le captures gxf6, sacrificing structure to generate checks and last hopes of counterplay as the battlefield erupts with tension. Wesley recaptures kxf6, centralizing his king powerfully and steering the position confidently into a winning endgame landscape. Le captures kh4, grabbing material desperately, while hoping to destabilize Wesley's advancing forces in a final attempt at survival. Wesley finishes with kf5, advancing his king assertively to dominate the board, sealing control and concluding the battle with precision. The video ends here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Please don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel to support me. Thank you again, everyone. See you in the next video.